I'm Erick Baker, and I've lived in Tennessee my entire life. However, for the last decade, touring the world, I've only seen it passing by from a windshield. But finally, Tennessee is calling me back where I belong.
There's a place you've never been, that's right where you want to be.
I want to rediscover how great my home state is, and I want you to come with me.
Uncharted.
Spring is in the air, and as the promise of warmer weather starts calling, so too does the unmistakable call of one of Tennessee's favorite feathered friends, the turkey. Now, I want to start by saying that I am a big fan of turkey. I know almost all there is to know about the delightfully large frozen bird that takes up half my freezer around the holidays. Many times I've taken part in the turkey's journey from deep freeze to deep fryer. However, when it comes to turkey of the wild variety, I have to say I'm a bit of a Jake. So, on this episode of Tennessee Uncharted, the crew and I have flocked to the city of Franklin for the Tennessee governor's one-shot turkey hunt to help kick off the state's spring turkey season. Hunters and outdoor enthusiasts from all over the country have come to participate in this exciting two-day event of hunting and fellowship. And I'm here to find out what it really means to feel like a turkey. A photograph is a perfect act of preservation. The images that we capture in our photographs are forever protected from change, harm, or decay. And behind the dusty glass and old wooden frames, life, as we knew it, remains intact. But for the people of Franklin, their photographs aren't images of the way things used to be, but of what is and what can be again. With its busy main street of stylish shops, galleries, and restaurants, it's easy to see why Franklin has been called a Southern dream town. Here you can discover years of Southern history and heritage, or just one great night on the town. However, only a few decades ago, this bustling boulevard was more like a ghost town, lined with condemned buildings, abandoned storefronts, and empty streets. Home to the Battle of Franklin, one of the bloodiest conflicts of the Civil War, where 10,000 soldiers lost their lives, Franklin was close to becoming a casualty itself until the 1970s, when a group of locals began a new battle, one of preservation. Now it's some of those old wounds of the past that are helping to heal the town. Long known as a suburb of Nashville, the city of Franklin found a future in preserving the story of its past. And now Music City's neighbor is singing a beautiful melody all on its own.
A group of preservation zealots like myself moved here in the 70s and went, oh my gosh, you know, this place could be, it just needs its face washed off, and it could just be beautiful. There was a hole in the stage when we started because it was just rotting down. I stepped on a big fat rat over on the right side, and when we were trying to show this place off, the commode overflowed and was running down the steps like a waterfall when the donor arrived. But it was just in terrible, terrible shape.
And looking out over this, it breaks my heart to think about this room not existing anymore.
Absolutely. Just so you know, in the middle of the stage is the center of the universe, and we've got a brass plate that you can pick up, and performers, and you're gonna sing, so maybe you can pitch your autograph or something down in there.
All right.
So that 100 years from now, people can go, wow.
Who's Erick?
Yeah, yeah, who's that? But anyway, we said that if you buy into the idea, which we do, that you're on the most beloved main street in America, and you're in the center of that main street when you're in this building, and so the center of this building is the stage, so that has got to be the center of the universe.
So many roads to travel, I wanna run down every mile.
We are going to create memories for the future. And since the day this theater opened, the nightlife on Main Street has exploded. So you don't just come for the Franklin Theater, you come for the whole experience. For a 320-seat venue, the best sound and lighting that you can get anywhere in the United States. People don't do this.
Bold, baby, I love it.
You
I
like
love it.
bold.
I do,
We are
I
bold.
do, I do. Well, I mean, just as I look back over my shoulder, a beautiful
Absolutely.
room.
Stunning
I mean,
room.
It really is. And I mean, intimate, not a bad seat in the house,
No, not
I
at
would
all.
say.
No. I think a lot of people, and we hear it as people leave the show each evening, it is only 300 seats. And it is, when you look up an intimate space for a performer to play in, this is it. Because when you're standing on stage and you look out into the house, you can connect with the audience. You can see the look in their eyes. You can see the expression on their face, how they're reacting to the lyrics of a song, how moving that is. And that's incredible for us to be able to offer that connection between the artist and the audience. That
Totally.
I mean, they get that. I mean, that's what entertainment. You're a performer. You know that's what it's about.
It's the give and the take.
Absolutely.
The audience plays a
Absolutely.
huge role.
They
in
do.
it.
They
Yeah.
do. You feed off that. They feed off what you're singing. I mean, it's a perfect exchange. What is life without the arts? We have to have music. We have to have entertainment. That's so important to us. And that's what we want to present from that stage. We want something to resonate with the audience, that they connect and they go, yeah, that was at the Franklin Theater. Wasn't that a spectacular song? Wasn't that a spectacular show? That was incredible. And that'll be a memory that's, you know, tucked away for them, that'll be special to them for years to come. They won't ever forget that.
What does the Franklin Theater mean to the people of Franklin?
I haven't seen a building that's more lovingly restored than this one. I mean, the community responded and helped with a $9 million capital campaign to refurbish this building.
Wow.
So it literally, when it reopened in June of 2011, it was out of ruins. This place was unrecognizable compared to what we see today. It's really cool to have a room that's this nice. I mean, it's got the best of everything. So we have performers who, if given a choice, they want to come and play here.
Well, if you don't mind,
We insist.
I'll try not to break anything.
We insist. We trust you. We want to hear something.
Awesome.
Eric at the Franklin Theater, we need to hear you.
I love it.
'Cause there's a place you've never been. It's right where you want to be. So go find yourself. Uncharted.
Chatting with the folks of the Franklin Theater, it's easy to see that a culture of heritage binds this community together. So before I turn in for the day, I'm off to meet up with some other locals who claim that they offer something different in terms of strapping craftsmanship. All right, so we've just pulled up to Long Hollow Leather, as you can see behind me. I could almost smell this place out because I'm about to walk in the front door and I can already smell the leather. It smells like a brand new wallet up in here. So let's go in and see what's happening. Some things shouldn't change. Sometimes you just get it right the first time, and from then on, you just do your best not to mess it up. The family of Long Hollow Leather have been working with leather since the 1890s. And since then, not much has changed from their focus on quality, comfort, and classic design. Long Hollow Leather makes guitar straps the old-fashioned way. Not because it's cool or part of some new revitalized movement. They make straps the way they do because that's the way they've always done it.
Well, my father was in the saddlery business, and so we started with horse and dog equipment. He sold to farm stores. They all sold dog collars.
Okay.
And so that's how it all started, and my brother and I just enjoyed the work. We learned different techniques and expanded the product line.
Yeah. Why is a good guitar strap important?
Comfort is the big thing for me.
Okay.
I want the image to be classic and, you know, traditional. Some things don't go out of style. And I say we don't do flaming skulls, you know, because there's one guy in 100 that's going to connect with that.
Right.
I'm going after the other 99.
Right on, man.
And so quality leather, classic designs, that's what it's all about for me.
Is this gonna make me a better guitar player, possibly, in the end?
Only in your mind.
Well, I'm only good in my mind anyway, so it'll fit right in.
Oh, it'll work perfectly.
It'll fit
then.
right in.
We're going to cut the shoulder pad for that strap. So swing the head around.
All right.
You need to press this with your left hand and then pull the trigger with your thumb right there.
Oh, and then just down?
That'll do it.
All right, clear. Oh!
There you go.
Boy, that sounded
That's a
serious.
manly machine,
It
isn't it?
is, man. Boy, I just sprang a few new chest hairs.
Yeah.
Dang, look at that. In the time that you've been making straps, I mean, have you made any drastic changes in how you make them?
The strap we're working on now is more typical of straps that were made in the 50s and the 60s. And I don't think there were very many dedicated guitar strap companies at that time. They were typically guitar companies that would contract with leather shops. We actually sort of innovated one of our first designs we call the Softy. And so we started doing more of the soft, comfortable leathers.
Right.
And I think that's influenced some of the other strap companies.
Nice.
But basically, most straps are more or less the same as they've been for the last 40 years.
I feel that long hollow leather are very important facilitators of music. They're partners in song. Because by helping hungry kids with a dream and something to say, strap on a wood box with 6 strings, they're contributing not only to the art, but to the preservation of music. I feel like a better guitar player already.
All right.
Thank you so much, man. Tennessee has a rich history of hunting and fishing, and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Foundation is working diligently to maintain this heritage by generating proceeds to benefit Tennessee Wildlife Resources. All additional proceeds go to advance the mission of the TWRF, includes promoting habitat conservation and responsible land stewardship. More specifically, the foundation assists TWRA with youth education programs, as well as strategic land acquisition to ensure that hunting, fishing, and the resources those sports require continue to be part of Tennessee's history. Tennessee governor's one-shot turkey hunt. What is the one-shot?
The one-shot, it started out where they want you to make one shot. They don't want you shooting 3 shells with this, so you only get one shot.
Okay, all right.
You only get one shot. So
all right.
if you come in here and the officers are checking your bird and scoring it, she's going to say, how many shells did you take? and you say 3 shots, she goes, well, I'm going to add 5 points to his score. So,
Okay,
so then,
all right.
you know, you lose points. So, you know, it's a contest. I mean, people who kill the biggest turkey and the teams that come in the biggest area, they're going to win a new gun, a new shotgun, or a new firearm.
Okay, well, see, now I didn't. Now, just tell me about that. I mean, the competition aspect.
It's a competition. So you have a hunter who's getting taken on a turkey hunt. So the guy that's taking on a turkey, when he gets a turkey, it's going to be scored, and the biggest turkey that the hunter kills will win a gun. They'll win a firearm. But now it's also a team thing. The guide can shoot one, and they come in as a team, so they'll score it as a team, and then it'll all go up there on the list. The biggest scoring team, both of you win a gun.
You know, this is the first time I've ever been turkey hunting. Will be tomorrow.
No,
tomorrow morning. I've never turkey hunted. All the hunting I've done.
You're gonna be hooked.
Yeah, well, everybody I talk to, they're telling me, man, that's the best that hunting can be, and how the adrenaline just gets going.
You feel that the hair stand up on the back of your neck when you hear that little tree call, and then it's just the gobble right there. It's like the hair stands up on the back of your neck, thinking, oh, this is it. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's what I'm in store for.
That's what you're in store for. Yeah.
Man, that was awesome.
Oh my gosh!
Dog.
Oh man!
Dog, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
dude!
Dude. Did we not get him in there?
Man.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Hey,
man.
man, look at
Holy
that.
cow, that is
Ooh.
unbelievable.
Hey.
That is so beautiful and amazing. I mean, you could hear him back over here. I could hear that strut, not even knowing what it was, and it just, dang.
Hey. That's what turkey hunting's about, though. You see, we had 3 birds. We had one at the top of the hill. We had one over here, and then this one's been drumming for 30 minutes now.
Yeah.
And so just being able to call a little, I knew they had us located. I was just about waiting for him. You know, he came in, and when I hit that thing and that turkey moved a little bit,
Yeah.
it was time to go, you know?
Yeah, man.
I mean, he was there. And that's another thing, like we set up here to start with, and where I was pointing to you about landmarks, being able to know those landmarks, what it does, it helps you judge that distance. So when you set up and you see those landmarks, especially if you're new to the game, new to hunting, or if you haven't hunted an animal like this before, you pick those landmarks out, it helps you be able to say, okay, now he's in the kill zone. So you got so much to focus on. And just like now, making sure you're shooting at the right spot. So many times new hunters get caught up in looking at the animal.
Right.
As opposed to focusing in on what we're about. We're about clean, ethical kills. And so being able to focus in on that and making sure that happens, that's the part of a hunter.
Because otherwise you're just wounding.
That's it. You don't want to wound the animal. You want it to be a clean, ethical kill like this. We got him in a tight gun range.
Yeah, man.
And we put him down. You did a great job.
Hey, thanks, dude. I was shaking like a leaf, man. Was he taking off? I mean,
Yeah,
because you were like, get him. I mean,
when he put that head up, and he was on alert. It was now's the time to shoot.
Okay.
And so he wasn't going to come back in, but we had him in tight. And when I moved that bird, it got him on alert. What it did, it distracted him from looking at you. Now he's focused on that bird. He didn't know he hadn't seen that bird move.
Ah, okay.
And so that gave you time to be able to focus and make a clean shot. And that's another part of hunting, just having experience with the birds and knowing when to shoot, when it's the right time.
Yeah,
that's a
dude.
huge part of hunting, you know.
Because you were like, don't move. I would have moved.
Yeah,
I would have moved
so-
way before that and would have drawn way before that.
And that's what I love about guiding, is being able to take people, being able to educate them on what to do and how to do, so it's a clean, ethical kill. It makes it a great experience for you. I'm tell you what, I'm ready to turn somersaults right now.
Dude,
This is pretty awesome.
We're all piled in here, and I'm just ready to go run up the rest of the hill.
Oh, I know.
Golly, that was amazing. Finally, I got something on this show. I'll be the first to admit, I was beginning to worry that my job might be in jeopardy because I'd yet to actually kill or catch much of anything so far on the show. It was a poignant reminder, though, that there's a reason that they call it hunting instead of killing. The hunt has made me a hungry bird. So I'm pretty eager to check out some meat that pretty much any Tom, or Jake for that matter, can strut in, order up, and enjoy. And luckily, the days of the local butcher are another historical staple making a comeback here in Franklin. And while the folks at Carnivore are busy preserving a savory southern snack, they're also bringing a tradition to the process that originates even further south than you may be thinking. A South African specialty known as biltong. Just want to say this is the most manly apron I've ever worn. I feel ready to, and you gave me a nice sharp knife.
Yep.
I'm ready to get
Ready
started.
to go.
Yeah, so what are we doing? What are we starting with here?
All right, well, making biltong.
Making what?
Biltong.
How do you
Biltong.
spell that?
B-I-L-T-O-N-G. Now, the key to biltong is the fat.
Okay.
You want to keep the fat on there. That's where the flavor is. But we don't want any of this nasty stuff. So we're going to go ahead and trim all this off.
Okay.
And then some people like it lean. So that's the nice thing about IF Round, where you can have some lean cuts out of it, and then you can have your fat cuts out of it.
There's a lot of similarities between Tennessee and South Africa,
Yes,
in a way.
yes. A lot of country boys around here, and people like to be out of the farms on weekends, and they like hunting and fishing, and that's South Africa. That's our culture over there.
So I can
a lot
go,
of wildlife.
now I know I can go to South Africa and
Exactly.
fit in. I'll just bring a big knife and a big hunk of meat, and I'll be like, come on, guys,
Yep, you'll be
let's make
famous.
some meat here, guys. That's awesome that you're bringing something from South Africa here,
Yes.
and that you're preserving that and introducing it to
Yes.
Tennesseans.
A lot of the older generation, when they were young, a lot of this stuff was still around.
Right.
Working with meat. And the excitement is now that we are open, that people can get some of that old stuff back. People can ask for beef tongue. They can ask for tripe. They can ask for, we got some head cheese,
Yeah.
for example, which is an old Southern thing.
Is that?
That's a little skinny.
Ah, I'm sorry, man.
No problem. The first one usually is, because it's not a, it doesn't have a flat part. Now this one should be easier, all right? That's also about an inch and a quarter slice.
How's that looking? I don't want to wait. I don't want to do
That's
any-
good. That's
yeah,
good.
Okay. You're like, that was a little skinny. I want to keep my job here. The beauty of this show, I'm learning all these new skills. So if the TV thing doesn't work out,
That's
is that all right?
perfect. That is perfect.
That
all the way
is
around.
beautiful. I mean, look at that.
Okay, the first ingredient that we have, and this is a very important part, is the vinegar.
Okay.
Apple cider vinegar is what we use, but a brown vinegar is fine. This helps a lot with the curing process. Instead of nitrates and all that kind of fancy stuff that they add, we use vinegar. Worcestershire is for the flavor. It just adds a little bit of flavor to it. And then we have our spice. Our spice consists of basically salt, pepper. It's pretty simple. And the main ingredient that you have in there is coriander. You'll see those little seeds on all those pieces of meat. Those are coriander seeds. And that's basically cilantro seeds is what it is. I just kind of throw it all together and get dirty with it.
All right.
Just get in there and kind of mix this up.
Huh? Look at that. That's going to make a lot of people, we're making a lot of people happy with this. I can already tell.
So that's the end product. So this has been drying for about 8 days. Okay.
Wow, that is serious.
That's the thin slice.
Oh, that looks so good.
And then the thick slice, and you just basically push it in a little bit harder. So you got some thicker cuts in there.
Oh, look at that.
And just kind of feed it in there.
How's that looking?
It's good.
All right.
Let's keep it.
This is not your dad's truck stop jerky. No, this is the filet of finger foods. A melt-in-your-mouth magic that I'm not sure can be matched.
And that's basically it. Now see, with the thin slice, you get that fat just goes into the meat a lot better. So you get the whole flavor. Get yourself a little pinch like that together.
Yes.
And just put it all in your mouth. There you go. Voila.
That is delicious. That is delicious. Hands down the best jerky I've ever had. Well worth the drive from
Kentucky.
or South Africa for that matter. That'd be a long drive, a very difficult one, but man, that is awesome. The bounty here isn't limited to the back wall and dangling, drying racks. Instead, every nook and cranny of this shop presents another tasty treat and disappearing delicacy, like head cheese. But before you get scared by the name, I'll start by saying that I can remember my mom and dad eating liver cheese when I was a kid. And the two are actually quite similar. But in all honesty, this increasingly rare offering is like the happy marriage of a holiday ham and a spectacular Spam. The idea of preserving the past is far from novel here on Tennessee Uncharted. In fact, it's one of the principles we value most on the show. But so often, the story of saving is one of struggle. It means living with intention, setting aside modern conveniences, and creating opportunities to connect with those who carved a path to what we know as life today. But for the folks of Franklin, Tennessee, the past is very much a part of the present. It peppers their city streets, grounds their giving spirits, and binds their hopes and dreams with the timeless wisdom of those that came before. Instead of dimming over time, the history baked into the brick of this quaint community is more vibrant than ever, and I feel very blessed to have been part of it. I can't help but be inspired. By making the past a living, breathing part of my present, I'm creating a whole new batch of memories to cherish and protect.